Right, today I've got two game-changing golf tips that I know can help you lower your scores. So the first tip that's going to transform your game is basically how you think about your tee shots and what you actually intend to do from the tee. I'm going to hit two shots on this 13th hole here at the Arden course to help us explain this. But if you are under the impression that your job with the driver on the tee is to hit the fairway, then you're holding yourself back. Your job is not to hit the fairway. Hitting the fairway is not what we're trying to do with the tee. It's overrated. So let's hit two shots on this 13th hole. I'm going to use these two shots to explain exactly what I mean by this point. Pretty good, that's kind of what I'd expect. It wasn't the straightest drive I've ever hit, but that's pretty much what I'd expect. And I've linked that one a little bit right, but it was a pretty solid strike. So let's head down there, find those two tee shots and see what I've got myself into the green. So just getting to the first ball, this was perfect. Great drive, hit it solid, in the fairway, exactly where I needed to be. A1 position. Or is it? Yes, I'm in the fairway. Yes, it was a great drive, but you can probably see that tree there right between me and the green. And this is winter. You know, imagine this was the summer, a lot more leaves, that tree would be a lot fuller. I'd have to go under it, over it, around it, really to get my ball on the green. So even though I'm in the fairway, I'm pretty much blocked out from that green. That's going to take a pretty special shot to get it anywhere near the green. So really, not the best tee shot. Let's head over and see where the other ball finished. So, second one actually missed the fairway. Here's the end of the fairway. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting on for some 10 yards right of the fairway in the rough. But I have a perfectly clear shot to the green. This is ideal position. Yes, I've missed the fairway, but I would take this every single day. I've got a clear shot to the green, and this situation is by far better than the one that was over there. So is hitting the fairway really as important as many of us believe? Let's head back to the tee and see how this information could influence what you do. So as you can see, being in the fairway isn't always the best thing for you. So what is your job with the driver or the club that you're using to tee off? Well, very simply, your job is to put the ball in a position where you can then get your next shot on the green. If we think about a par 4 is getting on or around the green in 2 shots and then another 2 shots to get the ball in the hole. So the sole purpose when I stand on the tee with a driver is, can I put the ball somewhere on this hole to give myself a chance of hitting the green? Now that doesn't mean it's the fairway, as we've just explained. So what we have to do is when we step on the tee box, we have to look at what on this hole will stop me getting my ball on the green. Now, what we've just seen, it's that tree on the left. I know that if I'm behind that tree, I can't get on the green. So I mark mentally that tree as being as far left as I really can go on this hole. And then I look on the right-hand side and say, well, what's on the right-hand side that's going to stop me getting my ball on the green? Well, it's the thick stuff. They're really kind of, it's kind of dead at the moment because it's winter, but that sort of heather, that bracken, that's going to stop me. So I've got my 2 points that I know are going to stop me getting the ball on the green. And I effectively want to center my shot dispersion between those 2 points. So for me, my line here is kind of right side of the fairway. I'm looking at a bunker down there. Right edge of the bunker is maybe a pretty good line. And what that then means is that my typical shot dispersion, you know, when I hit my shots on the range, I hit some left and I hit some right. But choosing that as my target means I can hit some left and be in play, and I can hit some right and be in play. That is the key. Don't get caught aiming at the middle of every fairway. It's not the best strategy on so many different holes. So once I've got my new target, then it gives me so much more freedom because I know that I've got a great target, and I know that even a less than perfect swing will leave me in a position where I can get it on the green. And that one, perfect. So this second game-changing tip is all about getting you to hit more greens and doing that without changing your golf swing. I found myself here in the middle of the 17th fairway and I have got 194 yards to that flag. Now for me, that is a 6-iron. So before I came onto the golf course, I actually, in my bay, hit some 6-irons on TrackMan And you can see on the screen the dispersion that I achieved. And that's pretty typical for me. If I hit a 6-iron and hit 10, 15, 20 shots, that's around about the dispersion that I'm going to get. So what I can say is that when I stand up here and hit a 6-iron, I'm pretty confident it's going to land within that dispersion, within that circle that you can see. But I can't tell you whether it's going to be the right side, the left side, top of the circle or bottom of the circle. I just know it's going to land within that circle. So let's say I approach this shot here with my 6-iron, 194 yards, and I aim directly at that flag. Well, if we take a top view and overlay that circle, my dispersion, you can see that the left-hand side of that circle covers the left side of the green, it covers the left rough, and it covers some of that bunker. So if I stand here, take dead aim at that flag and hit it in that left bunker, that's not a bad swing. I've not made an over-the-top move, I've not flipped my hands. It's just a shot that I would expect to hit. It's within my dispersion. It's what my level of skill dictates that I will hit. So I can miss the green, it's not a bad swing. So what I have to do is I have to plan for 100 and focus on 1. Aiming at that flag, I can miss the green multiple times, easily, as you can see from that dispersion overlaid on the green. But what about if I move that dispersion, I shift it a little bit more to the right? Well now, in theory, all the 6-irons that I hit, wherever they land in that circle, they're on the green. So with the same golf swing, without changing anything, but just changing my target and thinking about my dispersion, I can hit more greens. I can take out the risk of me going in the bunker, which might lead to a bogey or a double bogey or an NR on that hole. I can start to hit the green more often and start to lower my scores. So what I want to do here is get you to plan for 100, focus on 1. When I'm thinking about this shot that I've got, I'm planning the shot out. I have to plan that shot with 100 shots in mind. What is my shot dispersion like? Where do I need to position that to give me the greatest chance of being on the green? Once I've done that and I've selected my target, which here would be out to the right of that hole, then I focus on 1. I focus on the shot that I want, that specific shot where we pick a really specific target and commit to that. So we're planning for 100, focusing on 1. Now I appreciate you haven't got a TrackMan, I appreciate you haven't got that technology, but you can still do this in practice. You can still keep a note of what you feel like your shot dispersions are, and then you can start to fit those onto the golf course a lot better. It is one of the best pieces of advice you can have to help you hit more greens when you're on the golf course. And it doesn't come from a swing change, it just comes from adjusting your target. So, plan for 100, focus on 1, that will absolutely help you hit more greens. So 2 absolutely game-changing golf tips. I guarantee you, if you put these into practice and put these into play, next time you're out on the course, you will shoot lower scores.